What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Meh, of Pig and Meh here. And today I think I'm going to mix it up and do my profile on a different mat, mostly because this mat's kind of cool. And also, just a quick little intro. When you play this game, known as Yu-Gi-Oh!, at some point, you gotta kind of break away from the normal playstyle, because the only way you can ever really get better is to know different play styles and whatnot. And that's what today's deck profile is. A couple of months back, I remember seeing this deck in the OCG that was like the most wild collection of cardboard, and when thinking about that, I decided to, as soon as the cards came out, give it a shot. And after testing, from a few weeks, I think I finally came up with a good build, and I'm going to show you guys today the deck in question, which is Windwitch Burn. Let's get to the intro. Alright, so as you can see before you, I played Windwitches and managed to go X1 at locals. I played against Drytron, Tri-Brigade, Guru, and a random generator deck, and for the most part, this deck held up super well, with the annoyance being that floodgates suck to go against. So, let's quit with the BS and show you guys my deck profile of my Windwitch Burn deck. Alright, started out. I played 3 copies of the Ice Bell, 2 copies of Glass Bell, and 1 of Snow Bell, the new Freeze Bell, and Blizzard Bell. The quick and dirty is this one: when you control no monsters, special summons any of these guys from your deck to the field, and when she's summoned, she can burn your opponent for 500. This one, on summon, searches any of these guys. And neat thing is, when you summon her off of her, you can chain block, because, yeah. This one is the worst to draw, because its only thing is that when you control 2 or more Windwitch monsters, she special summons herself from your hand. And when you synchro with her into a Wind Synchro monster, it cannot be destroyed by card effects. That's busted. This is one of the newest ones. Both of these are. This one, when you control a Windwitch monster, minimum of 1, you can special her from your hand. And once per turn, you can increase her level by 1. In Blizzard Bell, on the opponent's main phase, you can discard her to burn them for 500, which combos with the card you'll see later. It also has the effect that when you control a Windwitch, you can normal summon it without tribute, and it's a tuner. These cards basically just let you play super aggressive and give you a first turn option in this deck, which is actually mostly a going second thing. Because of the newest card that you'll see in the extra deck, it helps break boards. And for the most part, these cards all function really, really well. I like them. Next up are kind of your board breakers. 2 copies of Sendion the Time Lord, and 3 copies of Lava Golem. Lava Golem was busted and put in all the work. This card, just anything that could be a problem, it just got rid of it so you could combo. And because the Windwitches don't eat up your normal summon, they combo spectacularly with this guy. And Sendion here is basically just a 4,000 thing that burns your opponent for 2,000 during the end of battle phase. It's real good. You also can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, so the opponent has to do some weird things to out it. To round out the monster lineup, I just played 3 Battle Fader, 2 Swiss Scarecrow. Just put simply, they just kind of stall out the game. That's all they do. Also, Battle Fader puts a level 1 on board for a cheeky play that you'll see in the extra deck. Next on the spells, all I did was 3 Desires, and 1 Mystic Mine. This is just the ultimate stall floodgate, and if they mine you for some reason, you don't care. And Pot of Desires here, yeah, just dig through your deck. Easy side out if you have to. Now on to a very, very extensive trap lineup for a going second deck. So, for your burn traps, you run 2 Ceasefire, 2 Secret Barrel, 3 copies of Explode Secreta. I think it's Secret Blast is its English name. 2 copies of Magic Cylinder, the 1 copy of Dimension Wall, Gravedigger's Trap Hole. This card's neat because it can hit Drytron. Ring of Destruction. And that's all the burn traps you play. And yeah, these cards are all insane. This and Secret Barrel, while this one does 100 more, it only counts cards on your opponent's field. But it has the neat effect that if for some reason they ever destroy it, you burn them for 1,000. And you can use both effects, so this card is absolutely nutty. Secret Barrel, pretty much if your opponent decides to mine and play the game of draw, 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 this card is insane in that. Ceasefire, surprisingly, can stop Guru to an extent. And these cards make your opponent never want to attack you. Another defensive card is this new card out of Lightning Overdrive, BUUUURN Game. Long story short, when it gets popped, you can target 2 normal traps, which every trap you play is a normal trap. So pretty much any 2 non-cards that aren't named BUUUURN Game, you can basically take them from your graveyard, reset them to the field, and activate them that turn. So you could get multiple uses out of all of your burn traps after chaining them and then just doing it again. It also has the nifty effect that basically during damage calculation, you can just make it where you take no damage. This card's super great. It's actually the reason I built this, because now you just have more reasons for them to never hit your back row. And basically, this is the card that won me every fucking game today. 2 main deck copies of Evenly Matched. I come to realize that if you're going to play burn, you got to play aggressive. And for the most part, this card answers everything that could be a problem to you, and then some. And yeah, this card is absolutely nuts. Also, you can just evenly their board and then make the new Windwitch synchro and then just get rid of the last problem. Which again, I'll explain that here shortly. And to round out the whole deck, just 2 copies of Trap Trick. Every trap you play is a normal trap. It kind of just adds to the insanity. That's the main deck, even 40 cards. I'm just going to breeze through the side deck because the extra deck has more stuff to explain, but you mostly just play more cards to help break boards, stall the game, deal with problem floodgates, stall the game, make your opponent never want to hit your back row, continue to break boards, or just play the super defensive game. Kind of depends. You can go first or second with this deck, but most of my focus was just going second. So now onto the extra deck. Probably the most important card in the whole deck. 2 copies of Windwitch Diamond Bell. You don't really need 2 at all, but I played 2 just in case. This card is nutty because basically when any damage is dealt, whether it's effect or battle, she pops the card on your opponent's field. And not only that, but if you use Windwitches to make her, she can pop 2 cards, which is awesome. And then on summon, she burns your opponent for half the attack value of a Windwitch monster in your graveyard. Which, when you do that, you also get a free pop. This card is nutty, and I love it. So that's why I played 2. Probably should have played another copy of Clearwing Synchro Dragon, but I literally only summoned it 1 time for one of, like, I think 2 games out of the whole tournament where I actually went first. And it was really good. And if you use the 1 bell with it, which is the only way you really ever make this card, it cannot be destroyed by card effects. So yeah, it's great. I play 1 copy of the Winter Bell, so when you go that route, you just get extra burn on top of everything. The Wind Pegasus Attic Nister, if you're going first, you go this into this, because this would provide some extra disruption. Never summoned this. Never summoned it. Next, I might as well just show the 3 Waking the Dragons targets. The 1 Star Mine, this is 2000 burn no matter what. Never made it. Never did it. Never did it. On to the links. The only card I actually ever used. 2 copies of Relinquished Anima. You play Battle Fader. Battle Fader gets turned into this. If you Lava Golem them, and then make this, you have a 3000 beater, which is cool. But I didn't do it at this particular tournament, but I had done it online. Link Karibo in case I ever go against Dino. And then just 2 random nightmares in case I guess I ever... I don't know, you legit only ever just make these 2 cards, and that's about it. So yeah, there you have it. My second place Windwitch Burn deck profile. This deck is cool. Can help teach you a lot more mechanics about chaining, time management, and a whole host of other things. And yeah, this is Meh, Pig and Meh, signing out.